do it.
Welcome to 151 Overpromised. Covino and Rich. Steve Covino, Rich Davis. Fox Sports Radio, Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 out here on the west side, 5 to 7 on the east. Anytime at Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Thanks for being here. And, of course, we'll be filling in for Dan Patrick. A lot of dates in the future, so listen out.
The hat trick. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's go.
It all depends on when you're watching this, but if you're watching this on Thursday, yeah, we'll be throwing it back. Hope the kiddos had a great first week of school so far out here on the west side. And I'll tell you what's coming up on the show today. Best adult cartoons.
Oh.
There's a reason for that. We don't mean like the dirty ones that Spot watches, not those kind.
Like give her a click around, you're like, "What? God, what is Peter Griffin doing to Lois?"
Not those.
Oh, homie.
Not those. We'll explain. No, Patrick. Not those like weird ones that you see.
What is he doing to SpongeBob?
And who might be ass? Well, it's preseason football, and it might be a particular football team that some people are high on. Rich Davis hates.
Oh, there's their fucking cheeks.
All right.
I can't wait to go at him. All right. Now, the big story in sports this week, I mean, for a lot of football, there's an NBA story that's breaking through because who thought the Lakers were going to get sold just like that? Lakers, the owner, Mark Walter, made $2.5+ billion in profit selling the team like a year after he bought them. So proving once again the best investment in the world, a sports franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to Iger and Kushner. They made the deal happen fast. It took the world by storm and scattered showers. Everybody's shocked. The biggest story, but they're committed. They say they're committed to winning, and who knows what they're going to do, but a sweet, sweet deal was made, and it got us thinking of other sweet deals. But you know what? Before we even get into those, it makes me think like real estate.
Yeah.
If someone in your neighborhood gets a crazy amount for their house, it makes people who might be on the fence want to sell and cash in while they can. So if I was an NBA owner, which I definitely won't ever be, light bulb has to go off a little bit and say, well, maybe now's the time to sell. Even though I didn't want to, prices are high, people want teams. It probably meant more to them to buy the Lakers than go to Vegas. Maybe we should sell our familiar brand now and cash in while we can. We might see a little domino effect with other NBA teams or other sports franchises because people want to invest in sports teams.
I get that sentiment, but if you make it to the big boys club where you're one of the few people that
you don't want to hold on. You don't, because it's a bit, you know what this proves? It's all a business. Walter Group was like, yo, I'm out.
But they got an offer they couldn't refuse.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is a
$12.5 billion.
There's no attachment here. It's about the money. Take it.
I know
sure.
what you're saying. If someone on your block gets a ton of money, you're like, that's what they got for their house? Maybe we should sell too. But then you find yourself then thinking, all right, well, now where am I going to move? And I think a lot of these ballers that are billionaires, owning a sports team is like the elite of the elite of the elite. There is something to be said about like, I'm one of the few people that own a team, but I get what you're saying. Like when you can make billions of dollars profit, that might be the biggest turnaround ever as far as like, yo, bought something, sold it that quick, made $2 billion. Like B, not million. B,
like
billion.
Unreal. And that's why we were all shocked by it.
And it's not like the Lakers had some like sick run in that year. Like it was an average year.
We live in a time in a world where you don't know what to believe on social media. So when that news hit, you're like, wait, they were just sold less than a year ago. They're sold again? So very interesting times in the NBA. We'll see what happens next with these other owners.
Well, as you know, franchises, that's where you're going to make your money. That's why everyone from Usher to the Serena and Venus Williams to Justin Timberlake, A-Rod, Tom Brady, everyone wants in.
I told you I want to invest in a cornhole team, maybe.
That's our budget.
Maybe, yeah.
That's our budget.
Maybe a wiffle ball team.
I did think though about how cheap Steinbrenner got the Yankees for. That always comes up because I know it was the 70s, over 50 years ago, but the fact that George bought the Yanks in 1973 for $10 million, that's like money you could round up with like all the people you know.
Well,
everyone you know has a couple rich enough friends where you can be like, yeah, let's buy something for $10 million. You could.
You might be able to do that in today's world for sure if you know some important people, if you know enough people. But yeah, $10 million for a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar Yankees team that's recognized worldwide. He got it from CBS in 1964.
Insane.
Ain't that crazy?
Insane. Another one that comes
Or
to mind.
CBS owned.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. CBS owned them since 1964.
Yeah, and then in 73, made the best deal ever.
Yep.
Jerry Jones, I mean, you watch the documentary, Jerry, 140 mil for the Cowboys might sound steep, but when you realize they're worth $15.5 billion right now, how about them Cowboys?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are guys that take pride and have some sort of love for the organization. Jerry Jones, you could imagine the Jones family or the Steinbrenners holding on to these teams forever. Other people, it's just a flex and it's just a business move.
If it's a good company or a good stock, now sometimes you're like, I don't want to buy too high. And you're like, well, it's going to keep going up. I feel that way about sports franchises and social media in its earlier days. Like when Facebook acquired Instagram, there were people that thought, man, they spent $1 billion for Instagram. Rip off. Instagram is valued in some places. Get this. $500 billion. So you might say, $1 billion? Why would Facebook do that? They turned it into Meta. But in that moment, people thought, really, $1 billion, huh?
Me and you should buy hotornot.com. Is that available? Friendster?
MySpace, back in the mix.
Timberlake bought MySpace at one point. I'm hearing that might make a comeback. I don't know who owns it now, but maybe that's another move you can make if you're looking for that quick turnaround, that quick investment.
But
another one.
All those companies, though, like even remember like Blockbuster. Blockbuster could have acquired Netflix for 75 mil, and they were like, yeah, no thanks. And these are all like multi-billion-dollar companies. So
that's a famous ball dropped in the world of making moves. Famous ball dropped a la Aaron Judge in the World Series. But yeah, Blockbuster blew it.
Now, when you were a kid in school, remember learning about the island of Manhattan? What was the story?
Right?
Like $20 in beads from the Native Americans, and all of a sudden it was, yeah, Manhattan's ours. So, I mean, that's almost up there with the Yankees, right? Like,
island of Manhattan.
I'll give you a satchel of beads.
The wheel of a steal of a deal. That's what we're talking about. The best deals made. And again, what makes the Lakers thing so cool too is how fast they did it. You know, they made it happen quick.
Well, you know, sometimes you wonder, you ever see a real estate deal on a TV show, like, we'll buy, but we need the contracts by end of day. If you want to get something done, guess what? It could get done. With the right amount of money and resources,
you got to pull my
done.
dad's tactic.
Hey,
cash money.
How about
cash? You got cash, make it happen.
Now you're talking.
How about this famous wheel of a steal of a deal?
By the way, that's what people do. I know it sounds ridiculous, but in real estate, you could close on a house in like a day or so if you're like, I got cash.
Hello. How do you think all these properties are being bought and sold nowadays? That's why you can't compete in the market. Yeah. You're trying to get a loan from the bank, and you got all these rich oil people, to be politically correct, saying, yeah, how about I buy it now, cash? Here you go.
And then the seller's going to be like, I could wait for you at the bank, or I could just take this person's money.
Exactly. So, yeah, good luck competing. The Babe. Wheel of a steal of a deal.
Wait, didn't Pete Crow Armstrong prove he was not real?
No, he was real because the Yankees got him from the Red Sox in 1919. The famous story is $100,000 cash. But the part of the story you might not know, because it's not as fun as just saying they got him for $100,000, is it was in 4 annual payments of $25,000 with 6% interest. Yeah. So $100,000 cash.
Know what I love?
Babe. See, yeah.
What I love about that headline, it's still old-timey lingo. Spot, can you throw that graphic up one more time? Our video guy, Spot, always doing a great job. Look at the headline. Demon Slugger of American League who made 29 home runs. He made them. Used to make a home run. Made 29 home runs last season. Goes to the New York Yankees.
Wow. How many hot dogs did he eat that year?
Dude.
That's what I want to know.
He made 29 homers.
Good for him.
So those are probably the
part
best
of the contract.
Yeah, those are probably the best deals I could think of.
Well, it makes you think of the best deals in your life, and I want you to share or other deals that stand out to you. Hit us up at Fox Sports Radio, at Covino and Rich, hashtag Overpromised, because a personal deal I got recently, man, I was so thrilled about it, dude. You know, sometimes you find these treasures. Get this. You know, I was in the market for this hair helmet. I heard these hair restoration laser helmets work, right? And we got one for over $500, like with taxes and everything, $600 on Amazon. And I was reluctant, but my girlfriend was like, "No, we gotta get. I heard they're really great, and I'll use it too." And I'm like, "All right, fine." Dude, I was at this random store. You got to pull up the coolest one, right? I was at this random store in Idaho called Steele's, and I got the wheel of a steal of a deal. I found the same helmet, brand new in the box, $50.
Get no way.
$50, bro.
You
it was
mean
like a clearance. The same thing, bro. Look at me. And why do you think my pompadour is looking fresh? Hasn't looked that thick. Look at that. That's the original one I was going to buy. Steve at Arms. All right, that one's a joke. But those wheel of a steel.
You do have a hair helmet.
Dude, that's right. I was about to pay like $5-6 hundo for that thing. Ended up getting it for between $50 and $100. Like on a clearance shelf.
Man, if
Idaho.
if they only knew what they gave up.
Yeah. Does it work? I couldn't tell you. I use it every other day. I don't know. But
if your hair wasn't falling out and you use it, you'll never really know.
Who knows? I'm still waiting to come in like Johnny Suede one day with a pompadour like this. So anyway, I want to hear about your deals at Fox Sports Radio, at Covino and Rich. Congrats again to Iger and Kushner, and we'll see what happens with the Lakers.
What a legacy he'll have, huh? The whole Disney chapter of his life, and now the Lakers, like, pretty big brands for Iger, huh? Now this week we got to let you know whose ass.
Whose ass? Chris Berman's.
Guy has no ass.
Someone stole his ass in the middle of the night.
Who stole Chris Berman's ass?
He's suffering from no acetol, is what they're saying.
If you haven't seen that, by the way, that's where the whole episode of
he's missing
Overpromised.
His back. And we say that respectfully. There's a viral clip of Berman, who we love.
When you see Chris Berman with no ass, I wonder where his crack is.
No, we heard that he was visited by the booty bandito in the middle of the night, and someone stole his ass.
And with all
he's
due
got
respect,
negative ass.
I mean, the guy with the best nicknames ever, the guy who's a legend, Chris Berman, is at a charity event, golfing, doing what he's doing. Where?
Someone stole it.
Where's his ass?
I don't know. It's a big story this week. Or should I say, not so big of a story. Guy has deflated flapjacks. But again, respectfully, because he's a legend.
Yeah. You're allowed to say respectfully he has no ass. I mean,
yeah, he has no ass. It's a big story.
It's the truth.
I mean, but what did we expect? Did we expect some sort of rumpus back there?
Got a rumpus and a tuchus. Well, who might really be ass this week? And for the whole season? We talked about this on the Fox Sports Radio show, and I wanted to reiterate how bad I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be.
Well, people are kind of high on them because they look good against the Panthers. That game was back and forth. They played the Raiders tonight.
And I was along for the ride saying, Carson Beck looked good against the Panthers.
He looked poised and composed. He looked like a bona fide NFL quarterback. He really did. So we came in pleasantly surprised, but Rich was like, hold up. We'll schedule a watch. I think they're going to stink. Rich is here to tell you, as a 49ers fan, that they're going to be ass.
I just think we're looking at Carson Beck, and he could be composed and look smooth in the pocket for a young kid, but he played second and third string guys on the Panthers. It's a good start. He did what he needed to be, done. Maybe in a couple years, that team will be legit, but as of right now, they have to play. Get this, the Cardinals have to play the Niners, Rams, and Seahawks 2 times each. They have to play the AFC West, which means they got to play Mahomes. They got to play Herbert and the Chargers. They got to play the Broncos. They got to play the Raiders later in the season. And there's only one game that I think is winnable. They play the Jets, one game. But according to Las Vegas, the Cardinals, according to future bets, are 17-time underdogs. Every game they're in, right now, they're technically an underdog.
So are you saying they're not going to get even one win?
I would be shocked.
Maybe the Jets, that's it?
I think I'm giving them 1 to 2 wins.
Okay.
The Vegas over-under is 3.5. Rip the under.
Wow. For the record, they were 3-14 last year in 2025. I almost said 25. 3-14 in 2025. And I think they're going to have over 4 wins this year. I do. I think, of course, they'll be last in the division.
If you want to bet a coffee on it, I'll go under. You go over.
I think they'll be last in the NFC West, but I think they make improvements. So they're going to be ass, but not as ass as they once were. They're not going to be like Chris Berman ass. Right. They're going to be a little bit better than they were last year. Because they look pretty good.
How sweet of an ass do the Cardinals have? Like a Berman ass.
All right. Well, so Rich is here to tell you that, big dreaming. They're just as ass as they were last year, or maybe more ass than we thought.
Kids are going back to college, right?
Yeah.
Kids are going back to school. My kids are in 1st and 4th grade now, which is crazy. I know you're daughter's a high school kid.
She started her junior year this week.
But we do have buddies. It's weird. When you're in your 40s, you start to have friends that kids go to college, and it's like, they're going away. What?
Yeah.
That feels like yesterday for us. And as kids go back to college, I do have fond memories of my freshman year watching South Park in the dorms. And I saw that today is the anniversary of the debut of South Park. 1997, South Park debuted. And I don't know if you guys remember that short that was floating around the old school days of the internet where it was Jesus versus Santa and who owned Christmas. Do you remember that? It was like a digital short.
I do remember.
And people passed it around in emails because there was no social media. So it was like, hey, I emailed you that the Santa thing. So anyway, when you think about your favorite cartoons of all time in honor of the great South Park, yeah, there it is, Santa and Jesus.
Matt and Trey doing their thing for a long time.
They're so great.
Now.
You ever watch the behind the scenes videos of them on the mics? They're so good.
And their documentary and basketball is a sports classic.
And usually I don't like to see people make billions. I'm like jealous. I'm like, ugh. But when they signed that $1 billion contract with CBS for all the rights, I was like, South Park deserves that.
Dude, they're always topical, and they wait to the last minute to get
it's so good.
the new episode out as they show in the documentary. I give them so much credit for their run, and they push the envelope, but I'll give you my top 3 when it comes to adult cartoons.
Top 3 cartoons.
Yes.
All right. And we're not talking like He-Man and fucking
no.
Heathcliff when you were a kid.
Adult-based cartoons.
like an adult could watch them. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm not talking SpongeBob, even though a lot of adults like SpongeBob.
Could be an answer, though.
It's like borderline, right?
I think it could be.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, I do like it, right? But coming in at number 3 is South Park. They're not my top 2 or top 1.
The 3 slot.
3 slot. I love the Lemmy Winks episode. It makes me think of you.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the Lemmy Winks one. If you don't know it,
Lemmy Winks.
Definitely check it out.
Lemmy Winks.
Matt and Trey even made us South Park characters at one point. Spot, do you have that one? Remember when Rich had the mullet? You remember that one? Yeah. But anyway, South Park, number 3 on my personal countdown. Number 2, you could say it's borderline, but I'm here to tell you it's not.
I think a lot of these are not going to be borderline because I think they could be. Oh, there's us.
Remember you had the mullet?
Why are you giving me a mullet?
Because you had a mullet back in the early.
What the fuck is that?
Back in the.
That's us?
No. It's not pajamas. You had a goofy striped shirt on. Yeah, so back in the
I protest this.
Early 2000s when we started our show, Rich had a Mel Gibson mullet, and that's how you were
that's me, okay.
portrayed. Coming in at number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Number 2, Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
Some of my favorite episodes. Log was a big part of my life. Just their antics, how angry Ren was all the time at Stimpy, you idiot. When his cousin Sven came to visit, some of those are my favorites. Don't whiz on the electric fence. I learned a lot of lessons from Ren and Stimpy, and that was totally meant for adults, even though kids enjoy it. Coming in number 1. I know South Park pushes the envelope, but I really feel like no one did it better than my guys. Beavis and Butt-Head.
You love them.
Like, nobody's cooler than Todd and Covino and Rich. Beavis and Butt-Head. In fact, not to tie it into sports and all, but I think I discovered them on Liquid Television playing frog baseball, hitting frogs. And they were a little segment on Liquid Television. Then they had their own cartoon.
I enjoyed some Beavis and Butt-Head.
We'd watch videos together, and I like their movies. And I still, till this day, I'm very much a Beavis and Butt-Head guy. Number 1 for me.
For me, I'm going to go number 3. Now, again, it is a little bit of a kid show, but as an adult, I watch this with my kids and really enjoy it because there's like adult jokes in it. Gravity Falls.
No way.
Gravity Falls.
It's your top 3?
Top 3. It's so good.
You like it because it makes you think of your kids.
Yeah, but it's legit. It's funny. It's like, there's a lot of newer animated stuff you just don't know.
I like cartoons that my daughter liked, but that doesn't mean they're adult cartoons.
I'm going Gravity Falls, number 3. Number 2, All About the Family Guy. You think that's bad? How do you leave off Family Guy?
I like Family Guy and I like the clips. I'm not a big fan. I don't hate it by any means. It doesn't beat the ones I mentioned.
I don't know.
How do you have Gravity Falls?
Cool Whip. I mean, Stewie and Brian.
Yeah.
Gravity Falls because
You think that's bad?
I just think it's a fun show that kids and adults could like. But I'm going to go number one to me, South Park, no doubt. South Park, number one for almost 30 years.
Again,
for movie. Remember the South Park movie? What would Brian Boitano do? I know you live by that code, right?
There's that girl that I like. Yeah, no, I do like that. But as far as longevity, too, you got to give honorable mentions to the OGs, The Simpsons. Again, I like things here and there. I'm not a huge fan, but The Simpsons. There's a lot of people that love Aqua Teen Hunger Force from back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah, you know what else is big? Rick and Morty. People rave about Rick and Morty.
Boondocks. But again, not our personal favorites, but props to the adult-based cartoons that people love as we celebrate South Park.
What about Mike Tyson's Mysteries?
I love Mike Tyson's Mysteries. About saving pigeons.
So,
one of my favorite cartoons of all time.
Think about it. You got to get props.
Since I was a little boy, I like Muppet Babies.
Yeah, make your dreams come true. I think there's a top three as far as now. All these are just as much as you, if you love him or not, Howard Stern was responsible for so many broadcasters, or Mike and the Mad Dog in the sports world. Like, they were the godfathers of the genre, right? Yeah. I think you do have to give The Simpsons, Beavis and Butt-Head, and South Park.
They're big three.
They're all prior to 2000. So a lot of these BoJack Horsemans and all those other ones, they're all just, The Simpsons were the OG. And Beavis and Butt-Head were right there with them. And then South Park soon after. And that's like your 90s, because no one was doing adult push-the-limit cartoons before then. As far as I know, right?
No, not in this way. Not in this way. So we tip our Yankee hats, Rich's Mets hat, to South Park and these cartoons. Which ones did we forget? Which ones do you put in your top three?
Do you tip your hat or hair helmet?
I tip my hair helmet. Sweet deal on that to South Park. So hit us up with your favorites at Covino and Rich on social media, at Fox Sports Radio, #Overpromised. You got 150 other episodes to catch up on. Remember to join us. Go watch for Dan Patrick next week.
The hat trick. We'll see you then. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromised land.
Goodbye.